So Newcastle United are making some seriously big moves right now. And when you put them all together, this paints a picture of what could be really exciting times moving forward, with a new training kit sponsor, some links to a sponsor for the stack, obviously the new training ground being announced as a project, and one of the biggest acquisitions in the gaming industry coming from PIF. We're going to go through all of this today and how this paints a landscape that Newcastle fans probably didn't think was possible only 3-4 months ago. Some major developments. But if you're new around here, I'm Adam. This is Two for Joy. Get down there, like, hype, subscribe, do all the good things. Most of all, hit me up in the comments and let me know if you're as excited by this breaking news as I am. Let's get into it. So before we start, apologies, I am losing my voice from a very heavy night out last night. But let's start with the officially confirmed. Newcastle United have announced the sponsorship of SumUp as their new training kit partner. And SumUp will appear on the training pre-match warm-up kit, the men's first team and the women's team and academy training kits. The agreement is a multi-year partnership. Reports valued at around £15 million, £5 million per season across a 3-year deal. SumUp also becomes a presenting partner of Newcastle United Business Club. This isn't simply a logo on a shirt, and this is the most exciting thing. There will also be a co-branded SumUp card with opportunities to connect businesses with the club. And for Newcastle, this is an example of where the club's building commercial revenue beyond the traditional shirt sponsorships. And the exciting part of this is, as we move on, the potential commercial deal for Coca-Cola. There is speculation that Coca-Cola, it's not confirmed, but there is speculation that Coca-Cola are looking to sponsor the stack. After losing our previous sponsorship with Seller. If Coca-Cola come in, this brand as a deal is huge. This is a huge global brand joining the Newcastle commercial portfolio, and this is something that can only drive us forward. The fact that Newcastle are looking to link with such large global brands is something incredible, and I have to give a little hats off to David Hopkinson delivering on what he said he would. But the interesting one is the behind the scenes speculation after PIF's latest acquisition, because on the 4th of August 2026, EA Sports have officially confirmed that they have been bought out by the consortium of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Silver Lake and Affinity Partners. The deal was valued at approximately 55 billion, making it the largest leveraged buyout in history. EA is now a private company and is no longer being traded publicly. Of course, this is major news in the gaming world, but more so, it leads me on to the biggest part, which is speculation from me, and it's only personal opinion. But when looking at EA Sports, Manchester City is the comparison, because Manchester City have held a long-term standing relationship with EA Sports Group, and it currently lists EA Sports FC as one of its global partners. The partnership is a massive integration into their digital content, their fan engagement, even stadium representation inside the game. And the biggest part of this, and people probably laugh at me, but associated party transactions. Newcastle, we struggle to get sponsored by anybody that's owned by PIF. But will we? Now they've acquired EA Sports, because in principle, Manchester City already hold a commercial sponsorship from EA Sports, which is huge because Newcastle could potentially negotiate a similar deal with EA Sports partnership of its own. And there's already a Premier League precedent. There is already a fair market value representation from EA Sports to Manchester City. So it doesn't mean that Newcastle automatically will get the same deal in the Premier League. But it does mean that there's a lot bigger chance of Newcastle being able to force this deal through, as there's a fair market value representation against another club. It's a very easy way for PIF to say, we already sponsor, or EA Sports already sponsors Manchester City this much money. There's a direct comparison as to how much fair market value should be, and Newcastle should be able to put in a similar fee into this football club. Now, realistically, the key distinction with this is APT rules have stopped us at so many points previously in our sponsorship journey. The comparable commercial rights to this deal will allow Newcastle a foot in the door to be able to say fair market value is already represented at Manchester City. And then finally, moving on to the Newcastle training ground, the biggest news, and this one just blew my mind. This excites me so much. The acquisition of a 200-acre estate near Newcastle's International Airport, and the club is planning a new training ground complex with investment of £190 million. This is groundbreaking. The proposed facility is expected to become the main base for the first team and the academy, with a target of moving the women's team in there eventually by 2030, subject to approval. But a 260-acre site, this shows the intention and the ambition from PIF, and this is really what excites me most. It's not even the fact that we'll have a world-class training facility that is at the forefront of football. It's not even the fact that it will be one of the biggest training facilities and the most technologically advanced and leading training facilities in the Premier League. It's the fact that PIF are putting down a marker to show their investment and their ambition, continued ambition, to Newcastle United as a football club. And this is one of the biggest things PIF have done since the takeover. This is almost as big as the takeover. The wider point is that Newcastle aren't just spending money on players. They're spending money in the right areas. And with the training ground happening, speculation on the stadium, speculation on naming rights for the stadium, the potential for where we can go under this ownership is limitless. So when you put it all together, looking at sum up Coca-Cola, PIF's acquisition of EA Sports, the £190 million investment in a training ground, you're looking at something much bigger than a few sponsorship announcements. You're looking at Newcastle continuing to build, not only commercially, physically, an incredible infrastructure of this football club. And the EA Sports angle, if it does materialise, this could be one of the most fascinating deals to watch, because we already have a direct comparison to Manchester City. This would put Newcastle in a new bracket when it comes to commercial revenue. And if we can get a stadium done as well, we won't see the effects immediately. But you're talking 5, 6, 7 years. Newcastle could be at the forefront of commercial revenue. And I do believe these are building blocks for us to catch the big six. And a lot of people will say the big six are doing these deals too. But there is only so long you can hold us back when the ownership model is this invested. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if you think this is all a smokescreen and PIF aren't as interested as I believe they are. I believe this is really exciting time for the football club. We may not see things happen on the pitch immediately, but it does look bright for the future. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a like. Hit the sub button. We're only 100 subs, roughly 100 subs away from the 4,000 mark. Get involved. Let me know in the comments. And hopefully, guys, I will see you in the next one.